Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left. Touchdown, touchdown. 8th floor, come down. Hotel lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m. Check out. Might give her one foul just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess in my schedule. Right. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Right. Half the Emirates need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a mansion. Plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. Right. And I don't need you to okay it. Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left. Touchdown.
They can't take it to 10.
Hey.
Okay, Coach, thank you. On a cold night at the foot of the Rockies, EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to Empower Field at Mile High in Denver, Colorado. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Denver Broncos. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback.
Check out! 622! Here we go.
On first down, Overton. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a handoff here to his running back. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Right, didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Now a give, right side, Overton. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, 4th down now.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Trubisky to throw. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. Looking to throw, Trubisky on first down. He gets this one to Johnson. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 42-yard line.
Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Trubisky will throw. Going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Overton. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
3rd and 2, Luck. Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 17-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Luck. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Demarius Randall. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. And the head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
And it's 3rd down.
180! Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
Trubisky now to throw on 3rd down. And it's caught by Parker. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll run on first down. It's Hines. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Run coverage, excellent there from the defensive end position.
How many times do we sit with coaches and they talk about a base defensive end, a guy who can anchor and play with leverage? We just saw a great example of it. And how about the bonus, tackling the runner for a loss?
On 2nd and 15 now. Trubisky, complete to Hilton. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 39 yards there, a big one.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 2nd down now, it's Hines. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. They'll run it here. This is James White. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And this one is right through. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Throwing on 3rd down, Love. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. After the interception, here's Trubisky. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Johnson. And he's going to be marked down short of the first down, right around the 17. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And his kick is good. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. A running play on first down, and it turns into a fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Check. Crunch. 11.
And he'll give it here to his running back. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now Locke. Open man is Gordon, complete. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. On first down, Overton. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
I can't help it. Every time I see Eric Berry make a play, as we just saw him make a tackle there, I just want to stand up and applaud.
Because he went to Tennessee like you?
Well, that doesn't hurt one bit, but how about the comeback? I mean, he came back from beating cancer and getting back to Pro Bowl level, one of the best players in the game.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
4 down, check, 4 down. 12. Hey, watch 28. Slams, 11Z.
Out of the gun, Locke. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's Daron Payne with a sack that time. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now a give, right side. Overton. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on third down following 2 negative plays. From the gun, here's Lott. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down.
The Steelers
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
They give to Johnson going right. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
The Steelers on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Here's Hines. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Give them the third down conversion. 5 yards on the play.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. He's got it to Hilton. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
You ain't doing nothing today.
Now Trubisky. It's complete. James White. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Mike 50. Hey, dude. Hey, watch your leg. Mike 50, Mike 50.
From midfield now, here's Trubisky. Going deep here for Parker. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. 31 yards there and a first down.
Okay, every now and then, my defensive bias will leak out here. Abysmal play for them. You've got them backed up, and you let them out.
Couldn't take advantage. And you know who's happy? The punter. Because if he was needed, they gave him a lot of space to work with now.
Yeah, because he would have had a lot to think about, right? Don't step over the back line and give him a safety. Now he's got room if he needed it.
Much more room to operate under after the big play. Here's 1st and 10. Now this throw caught left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
Hey, watch the slant.
Now a first down throw. Luck. We'll get this out to Barkley complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Now it's Locke. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
2nd and 8 at the 30-yard line.
Mexico! 90! Let's go, Mexico!
On 2nd down, Overton. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5. Here's Luck. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half.
First and 10 at the 10-yard line.
Right, 622. Here we go. Mike's 57. 12.
Luck on first down. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Jason Brown, incomplete. It leads to 2nd and 10.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what?
He's got a man complete. T.Y. Hilton, nobody to beat. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. T.Y. Hilton with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Love. They'll get this one to Cup, complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
At the 41-yard line.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Big series right here. So we got to step it up. Crawl.
Luck now to throw. That'll be caught by Cup. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Check out. 675. Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
From the 50, it's Long. Gets it to Gordon. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston. Then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all.
11.
On 1st down, it's Long. Open man is Uzomah. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. And to give this time to the tailback. 18 yards to pick up there. That was huge after being behind the chains on first down to make this second very manageable.
Yeah, how much pride do you have in an offense on first down to get that kind of yardage? Because it actually opens up your playbook on second down. You can run it, you can throw it, you keep a defense off balance. I like that phrase, stand ahead of the chains, and they're doing exactly that.
Here we go. Double time, double time. 4 down, check.
On 2nd and 2, Luck. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Josh Gordon, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game.
That wasn't just toughness we just saw. That was concentration. Knew the hit was coming, yet the quarterback hung in there and delivered it downfield. The end result, 6 points for his team.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead down to 3 at 13-10. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Get in the white room. Get in the white room.
They run again with Hines. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Put up. 180. Check 53. I got him.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Trubisky. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 23 yards the pickup there.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
180. Check 53. Time to go. Night.
Now it's Trubisky. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Following the penalty, it's Johnson. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And that'll be off the crossbar and out. It's short. He couldn't get it there. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, close game, second half. You obviously hate to leave 3 out on the field.
Especially in a game like this when you know points are hard to come by. That was one of their best opportunities. So
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
On 2nd down now, Overton. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there.
Check out. 390. Let's go. Mike 52. Mike 52. Here we go.
3rd and long. It's Love. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines.
Let's go, boys. First and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now, they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
And it's 3rd down.
180. 150. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, motion backfield, motion backfield.
On 3rd down, Johnson. Yeah, this defense rallies, and they stop him short of the 1st down right near the 24. He did well to get him 8 yards, but it's still going to mean a call to the punt team on 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain night, and it's a good one. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Let's put that team on the bus.
They'll run on first down. Overton. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Welcome back now to Denver. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. On second and 11 now. Luck. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Give him 6 there, but now it's third. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The Broncos on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 5. A shotgun snap for Luck. Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Check out. Right, 40. Hey, let's go.
Now Luck. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
You go take. You got take. Alert, 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 alert.
They'll keep it on the ground. Hines. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Here's Hines on the toss play. And I don't know if he made it out of the end zone. No signal. Yes, it's a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
That's a lot of points. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Watch twist. Watch twist.
Now a give right side. Overton. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They'll keep it on the ground. Overton. And he'll take this one down to the 36.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 18. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
We want it. Come to my world.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a 1st down. They ran it and picked it up.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. They'll keep it on the ground. Overton. And he's going to bull his way down to about the 1-yard line. Give him 7 yards on the carry, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. 4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. And they're knocking on the door. 2nd and goal now in a 1-score game. On 2nd down, Overton. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This for the lead in the final stages. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
First down.
Trubisky now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. First and 10.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Check, check, check. Bravo. 50, Mike's 50. Hey, that's
Trubisky to throw. And the catch made by Hilton. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Hey, Haywood. Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Go, Mike 50, Mike 50. Let's go, baby. They turn over. Get that ball. Get that ball.
Throwing now is Trubisky. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Credit that sack to Jabal Sheard.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Back to throw. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 29-yard line.
At this stage, you've got to hustle. Got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
First down, here's White. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. He's hit 2, he's missed 1. This for the win. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So he's able to come through in a hostile environment, and you'd have to imagine that's the game winner.
Yeah, how about that? And the way that this game's gone, you think they really wanted to get to overtime and take their chances there? They wanted to get this thing done. When you're the visitor, you don't want to play into overtime. You want to knock it down, get it done, and go home.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be. It's got to be some sort of Hail Mary, throwing it towards the end zone and hoping someone can catch it or catch it off of a tip. Think back to 2015. Didn't we see Green Bay pull that off twice in the season? Once in the regular season, once in the playoffs. So stranger things have happened. It'd be interesting to see what the defensive strategy is about who they put on the field to try and knock that ball away.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here.